What up? All right, this thing's live. So I wanted to share a story yesterday. We had a plumber come by working on our sump pump. Our sump pump went out. It was pretty frustrating. Didn't know what to do. Long story short, he identified the issue, and whenever they installed the engine, it was too low to the bottom of the sump pump, so it was picking up dirt, gravel, and a rock got caught, and the engine overworked itself and it busted. But he fixed it. Super nice guy. He heard me listening to the clubhouse going on yesterday that American Huddle started and invited Lex Friedman to. And I was just listening to the discourse sitting in the basement as they were working on it. And then the plumber was like, "Oh, you're into Bitcoin, you're into crypto." I said, "Yeah. Yeah, I've been buying and holding Bitcoin for 4 years." He was like, "Who do you listen to? Or who do you read?" I was like, "Oh, Pierre Richard, Parker Lewis, just all these, you know, old school guys who've been writing about it for years." He was like, "Oh, I like BitBoy," and I was just like, "That's funny." I was like, he's a very hype YouTube guy, price predictions and all this stuff, and educated him more about some of the early writings from people before and all that. But what really took me back was he ended up telling me a story. He was telling me about how at a young age he was in the military and he thought he would get deployed, come back, deployed, come back, deployed, die, and his life would be over before he was 30, which I was like, damn, that's heavy. But I was like, I hear where you're coming from, being in the military. And then he just said, whenever I came back from the military, he got released from the military during the budget cuts. I think it was like either 13, 14, 15, something like that during the Obama administration. And he was like, well, what am I going to do? So he became a plumber. He was good with his hands, taking engines apart, putting them back together. And he just said that wasn't enough. He's making 40K a year before his like upsells and commissions. So he might make like 50, 55 or so at most. But he was just saying how he wanted to get into crypto and Bitcoin, and he's been trading. And a lot of people have been doing that during the pandemic. If you've read the headlines, like a lot of people are spending their stimulus and spending their money doing options trading or leverage trading, trying to make more money to get financially free. So when he shared that, I was like, dude, I hear you. I've heard this from different folks, and what was really inspiring and crazy to me is he was willing to take the risk. He said he stopped paying his taxes. He chose to defer them to pay at the end of the year, so he'd have extra money to invest. And he's turned $400 into $4,000, and he was so inspired and hyped up. And he was just saying, my goal is to get it to $1 million by the end of the year. And I just talked to him about the risks of it. I didn't try to detour him from it or stop him from doing it. He was, very excited about it, bought in, working hard, learning it. So I was just trying to, keep him, you know, um, safe with what I could share without just telling him it's a bad idea. But he's doing a good job, it seems like. So good for him. And he ended up giving me his phone number, and I just told him I'd help him support, answer questions, and all this. But I started talking to him more about commercial real estate and how to live tax free, and told him some stories about the Detroit investor, who is a young black woman in Detroit with 3 kids. Used to be a teacher, now she owns a real estate portfolio. Told him about bigger pockets. Told him about commercial real estate. How you can do depreciation and cost segregation studies. The IRS creates incentives for average people to utilize so they can reduce their taxes and pay no taxes. The IRS wants you to do this. They encourage you to do this. And I was talking to him about that and just buying and holding Bitcoin. But the thing that got me like really humbled and inspired is because he was just blunt and true. He was like, man, I'm only making 40K. There's no way I can survive on that. My wife lives at home. He's like, I'm trying to learn how to trade and, learn a new skill and, take care of my family. And his one thing he said he wanted to do was to go into Walmart one day and buy the entire floor and don't tell the manager his name and just say, I want you to donate this. And his inspiration was to give back to his community. And I thought that was really cool because me and a lot of the friends, I have that I work with, we work for a tech company. We get to work from home. You can see my background, my loft. I usually on Zoom have a blurry background or a background setup, but we just got the couch thrown out, all the dog toys. We're just chilling at home. He's out, grinding, working every day, making a little less than like folks in tech companies, but he had the most inspiring energy. He had a game plan. He was willing to take the risk and he was wanting to learn. And I just love the attitude the guy had. He wasn't complaining about his situation. He was seeking, to do more, to achieve more. And he wanted to connect with me. He didn't know anything about me, but I got to share with him, my experience with rentals, my experience with Bitcoin over the last 4 years. He even had this younger 19-year-old guy who was studying over him, who like taught him about Dogecoin. He was 31. The guy training with him was 19, and they were just sharing all this stuff, and we just got into the difference between riches and wealth. People that are wealthy, they don't just go blow and flaunt their money. They protect it, they save it, for a rainy day, and also to pour into other people's lives. But it was cool and humbling to hear his story, how he said, yeah, we're deferring our taxes until the end of the year. We're going to use that money to invest, to make a return, instead of the government just taking it. And I was just thinking, good for you, man. And whenever he left me his cell phone number. I sent him some good content from the Nakamoto Institute, Pierre Richard's website, and just gonna support him in his journey. And I thought someone might need to hear this. It's not every day with us being locked in our houses or told to stay home in our houses. With just there being less movement, less like connecting with people sometimes. But it was really cool for him to share that, and I thought it might get someone else excited about their situation they're in, and just encouraged. So hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I hope you woke up today inspired, encouraged to do something great, make a change in your life, take a risk, and leverage the great Bitcoin community we have. So make it a good one, and I'll talk to you guys soon. All right, thanks.